Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Biology with Minakala Teacher. In this class, we are going to learn 12th Biology second chapter Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Flowering plants means we are going to learn sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Flowering plants are known as angiosperm. Flowering plants are known as angiosperm. So, sexual reproduction means we need a sexual organ. In plants, the sexual organ is flowers. Flowers have different floral appendages. All these appendages are developing from a main flat stage-like structure that is called receptacles. Around the receptacles, all other floral appendages are developing. Okay, so these flowers are known as modified stem. Modified stem means a stem is modified into flower. How a stem is modified into flower? You will see that is, imagine, this is a stem. So this is apical bud. Okay, apical bud. So here you see these are all nodes. In between the nodes, this is internode. Here these nodes and apical bud are having meristem. So meristematic tissues. That meristematic tissues develops into different floral parts of a flower. So meristem present in the apical bud develop into gynoecium. Gynoecium develops into gynoecium. Okay, so you can see here it develops into gynoecium. So from this node develops androecium. Then all the next from the next node develops floral, another next floral appendage that is known as petals. Next to this it develops a sepal. Okay, so when you see this structure, this is so long. So this structure is looks so long. So when we compress this structure, all the nodes come closer together. So when you compress this structure, you can see this is the meristem. Here you can see this is the apical node. Here gynoecium develops. So from the gynoecium, here next node is present. From the next node androecium develops. From the next node petals develop. From this adjacent node sepals develop. So like this flower develops. You can see the structure of the now you can see the flower, all floral appendages come closer together. Okay, so now you can watch a video. So in that video I explained floral parts of the flower by practical. Hello students, here you can see that is there is dissected flower. In this dissected flower you can see different parts of the flower. Okay, flower is a modified shoot. In the shoot, tip of the shoot, there is apical meristem. What are meristems? Meristems are tissues in which the cells remain forever young and divide continuously throughout the life of the plant. Okay, so this apical meristem changes into floral meristem and produces different kinds of floral appendages laterally at successive nodes instead of leaves. So instead of leaves, different parts of the floral appendages are developing. So internodes do not elongate. Internodes are condensed. Okay, so then different parts of the flowers are developed from the apical meristem. So that is flower is called as modified shoot. Okay, so now we will see the different parts of the flower. Here this portion you can see, this is the stalk of the flower. This is called pedicel. So at the tip of the pedicel here, stage like structure is there. That stage like structure is known as thalamus. Over the thalamus, different appendage, floral appendages are developing. So this portion above this thalamus, you can see the outermost word of the flower. So this is known as calyx. Here you can see leaf-like structure. This leaf-like structure is known as sepal. All sepals together called as calyx. So the outermost veil of petal is known as flower is known as calyx. Next to that calyx, you can see that is colorful structure that is called corolla. Corolla is made up of, corolla is formed of different, that is petals. Here it is sepals, here it is petals. So this corolla, this is this calyx. You can see there is here, this is bud. In this bud, this calyx, you can see there is a calyx is covering the or delicate part of the flower. So in these petals, give sepals give protection to the delicate part of the flowers. Okay, so the outermost part of the flower is known as calyx. Then next layer is known as corolla. Corolla is formed of petals. Next to the corolla, you can see that is male reproductive part. That is known as androecium. So here you can see this is androecium. Here you can see yellow powder like yellow bag like structure. You can see that is called stamen. Okay, it is possessing pollen grains. Okay, so here if you see this stamen connected to the staminal tube by thin filament. That thin filament, here it is, you can see the thin filament. Okay, this is stamen filament connected to staminal tube. Okay, so this structure is known as male reproductive part. You can remember always the male reproductive part. In human being, men is male. Okay, so stamen. So there is men is coming. So stamen is male reproductive part. You can remember like this. Okay, so then at the tip of this is the whole structure of reproductive parts of a flower. Androecium is there, gynoecium is there. Now you can see that is carpel. Carpel separately, gynoecium called as carpel. Here you can see this is velvet like structure, 5 dots like structure you can see. This is known as stigma. Okay, this is here at the base of the stigma, flask like structure is there, that is called ovary. Inside the ovary, ovules are present. This stigma and the ovary is connected by a thin slender like structure that is called style. Okay, now you can understand all parts of the flower. So this calyx gives protection to the delicate part of the flower when it was in bud stage. Okay, this corolla is attracting the insects, birds, etc. for pollination. Now you see in this flower, different parts of the flower, now you can understand the different parts of the flower. So now we will see that is androecium. Okay, so in this androecium is formed of stamen. Stamen has two main parts. One is anther, another one is filament. Filament. When you see that anther, it is a bilobed structure. Okay, this bilobed structure is present terminal parts of the filaments. Okay, so if you see the stamen, so you can see this is anther. So this is bilobed structure. Okay, in some flower it is having two lobes. So if the two lobes are present, that is known as dithecous. If it is present only one chamber, only one locus, that is called monothecous. This monothecus is present in the family Malvaceae flower. Malvaceae flowers have monothecus. So next another one part is filament. Long slender structure with proximal end as well as distal end. So distal end is connected with the anther. Proximal end is connected with the receptacles or either receptacle or petal. So this is the structure of stamen. So now we will see that is this filament. This is known as filament. This filament is attached to the stamen and the anther. So this position of the filaments attached to the anther is different. So in some flower, this anther attached to the filament at the base, that is called basifixed. So in some flower, this filament is attached to the all over its part, that is known as adennate. In some flower, in this anther, this filament is fixed at the dorsal. So that is dorsifixed. Okay, so in some flower, this anther is long anther is present. So long anther is present means that is also bilobed. So here it is, this filament is present at the center. In this structure, this filament, this anther, it is when flower that wind is blowing, it will be moving like this. When it is moving like this, these pollen grains are carried by wind. So this type of anther is present in, this is the characteristics of anemophilous plants. Anemophilous flowers. So anemophilous flowers means pollination takes place by wind. Okay. So now you'll see take the cross section of anther. When we take the cross section of an anther, you can see the structure like this. So at the center you can see the structure that is called connective. Means here you see anther, at the center it is divided into two lobes by a groove. That groove is present in front, and that groove is filled with vasculated sterile vasculated sterile tissue, that is called connective. Okay, so here you see anther has two chambers. This two chamber is divided by a groove in front, and that is filled with vasculated tissue, vasculated sterile tissue, that is called connective. So it is not taking part in reproduction. So it is called sterile tissue. So now you see the cross section of anther. You can see this cross section of anther. This at the center you can see that connective. So then this is one chamber, this is one chamber, this is another chamber, means lobe. This is the first lobe, this is the second lobe. So each lobes are having two microsporangia. These lobes are having 4 microsporangia totally. So means each lobe has 2 microsporangia. When that is microsporangia, it is young, it is called microsporangia. Then when it gets matured, it is called pollen sac. Then pollen sac is filled with pollen grains. So singular form of microsporangia is known as microsporangium.